celebration, your keynote speaker for the awards ceremony tonight, and then you've got 7 of your 10, or even 11 if you include your OBR, who haven't yet crossed the equator. Just tell us about how you're feeling, the atmosphere on board, and the responsibility for you as well with such a busy schedule.
Well, it's been really good week in Lisbon. We've had great hospitality, and the sponsors have been really activating and showing off their involvement in the boat and the team, which has been fabulous. It has put a lot of work on us, but we're looking forward to going sailing for leg 2. And just to put perspective on my team, 6 of them have done 6 days at sea, and we're about to go and do 21 days at sea, and they've never been at sea for that long. So they have no idea really what they're living in. It's self-import, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And heaven help them when Neptune visits, but it's a lot of them, and I need to kind of be quite time efficient with that, because obviously I've got to stay racing at the same time.
So to that, you were, as you said on the arrival, you were a little disappointed with your performance, could have been better. Amongst all of these commitments, what have you done to improve performance for this iconic leg down to Cape Town?
We always find time for debriefs and learning from the lessons that we've seen. We had really good two-boat testing with the guys and learned a lot from that with sail combinations. We clearly made a few mistakes that we want to rectify, and we're pretty confident that we've learnt lessons and we can take them forwards, but everyone's increasing confidence and knowledge, experience, and everyone's getting better, so we've just got to keep up with the rate of improvement and a little bit ahead, hopefully, and get some better results.
Great, thank you, Dee. We'll have time for questions after we've had a few words from the skippers. Next up, Bauer. Performance, an issue for you in the first leg. We saw you'd done some work to your rudders and your keel. Tell us a little bit about that and what your plans are to get to the front of the fleet for this leg.
Yeah, of course, the first leg we have been hitting a lot of things. We had to do 12 backdowns in total. I think it's just a luck of the straw. Like next leg, maybe we're a little bit better off. But we repaired our rudders, we repaired the keel, but we have to be very honest. We have been doing debriefs, have been looking at ourselves, because we've gone around a little bit in circles sometimes as well, because we were not going very fast, you try things. So we talked really good the sail performance through. How can we set up the boat better? And I think every day we're about 3 hours sitting together with the group, and we have very smart people. So I think it's just adding all up. It's still a learning curve, and I think our curve is very steep, so forget about the first one and hack into the second one.
And you have some very famous sailors on board who are yet to cross the equator. One of those who has, your navigator Andrew Cape, he's done a few legs. Any plans for the arrival of Neptune as you cross the equator for some of those sailors?
Well, of course, it's one of these things. It's a race, but I think it's part of the tradition, and I think that's the really nice thing as well. And as well, of course, the guys who've done the crossing, just winding the people up who haven't done the crossing. So, especially like Peter Burling, of course, there will be some nice footage from him, probably with some mohawk or whatever. So we take some extra items with us, just to make sure that Neptune welcomes him properly in the southern atmosphere, even though he's from over there.
Excellent. Okay, good, very good. Thank you. And now to Simeon. You've had a busy week. Nice to see you still here. Give us a little update on the team.
No, we had a busy week. It's everyone knows we had a bit of a hectic start in Alicante, and but nevertheless, we managed to sail a leg we were happy with. I mean, the boat speed was there, and we had some great help as well from Widdy, from Scallywag, where we could borrow Antonio Fontes. I think we are happy how we came here, and this week we used all the time to. Be even stronger for leg 2, and we are confident that we're ready for it.
Excellent. And you finally get to put the phone down for 22 days down to Cape Town. I'm sure that'll be good for you. What are your feelings inside, your emotions?
I mean, it's the same that you've been working towards for the last 1.5 years. This is the race you want to participate in. I mean, this is why you do it for, the 21, 22 days pushing with the best guys around you can imagine, in a race that only people from the outside can follow and imagine how it is on board. And to tell that story and to get people hooked onto that, I mean, that's what we do it for. And I'm just mega excited to sit here and with my team, everyone on board is excited. And Axel Nobel is unbelievable proud that we're going for this and in full strength.
Great, thank you very much. And next to David Witt, skipper of Sun Hun Kai Scallywag. You were generous enough to give one of your sailors in some dramatic moments at the beginning of leg one to Simeon. You're happy to have him back?
Yeah, sure. The boys ask me every day where the carton of beer is to say thanks. I still haven't seen it. I tried to stick up for him and say maybe he doesn't know where the team base is, but they did point out that we're right next door, so I'm running out of excuses.
We gave you a bottle of champagne. Maybe that's too posh.
I never saw it.
Okay, and David, Steve Hales, your navigator, update on his health. He had an injury on that rather exciting arrival.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He was a soccer player, not a rugby player, so he wasn't used to getting hit in the head, so he'll be right.
And on the navigation, the route, there is no waypoint now off the coast of Brazil. That's different from previous legs. How does that change your strategy?
I think it changes a lot. I think this will be a pretty interesting leg, and I think you might see the biggest split you've seen for a long time in the Volvo race, so let's see what happens.
There are some routing possibilities that take you along the African coast as opposed to Brazil, which is a much shorter route. That's been discussed in your briefing?
Very clever, Greenie.
Okay, well, good luck, and we'll move on to Charles Caudrelier. Charles, you ended up third in the first leg. It wasn't you weren't entirely happy for the first few days. What have you done to improve performance, and what is your plan for leg 2 to Cape Town?
Is to have a better start, of course. Yeah, we had a speed problem the first 24 hours. Don't really know why. We were lucky to hit a big fish in Gibraltar and to do a reverse, and after the boat was quite different, and the speed was back and helped us a lot to come back to the top of the fleet. So we'll see. I think when we have such a big speed problem, I think the best way is to do a reverse, even if you sometimes can't see anything with endoscope. I mean, it's better to do a check because we really had a speed problem in the first 24 hours. Yes.
And between your crew, you've crossed the equator probably hundreds of times. What is your strategy this time for getting across the doldrums as fast as possible?
It's difficult on the doldrum. You never know where to pass. The difference is huge compared to before because we don't have to go to Fernando, so you can cut it maybe more east, but we know it's a danger, so it's always a balance, and it's always very difficult to know where to go, and I think it will be a nightmare for all the navigators when we arrive there, but before we arrive there, we have a few days of sailing, which are important.
Okay, thank you very much. And Xavi, give us your feelings, your emotions, a big leg coming ahead. How's the team feel? How do you feel?
Well, looking forward really to leave on Sunday, and looking forward for this first big leg for this Volvo. We have a very nice forecast and looks going to be a very nice first week. So hopefully we can put the foot down and start doing some miles south, and let's see what happens. Then doldrums is going to be a tricky one as usual.
Okay, very good. And again, no waypoint. What's been the discussion about potentially going the short way on the coast of Africa?
Well, let's see. Hopefully the others go the short way and we keep going west. I don't know. It's going to be busy for Juan. Of course, we trust his instinct and his work, and hopefully we can have a quiet first week and a good crossing of the equator.
Okay, very good. And we now go to Charlie from Vestas 11th Hour Racing. A great result, very happy. How can you build on that? And you're looking to win leg 2 as well, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, you start every leg trying to win it. It was a great result for our team, and a testament to the hard work from everybody. They've been putting in since April, some since August, but it's been a big process for us, and it's good to see, that come to fruition in the form of a good result on leg 1. Having said that, leg 2 is dramatically different. It's going to be, in my estimation, probably a little bit more boat speed oriented. Fast sailing in this first week, and then, as these guys have said, we'll kind of monitor what's going on coming off the African coast and make our tactical decisions when we have a little bit more clarity there.
Great. And just talk to us about the fans in America. It's clearly been, we've seen a lot of the statistics on the Facebook and social media. It's engaged a considerable amount of sailing fans, but also fans of the environment and the message that you're putting out.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to be a dual flag boat. We feel like we have a ton of support, not only from the States, but also from Denmark with our sponsor, Investis. But then also just from the folks even here in Lisbon. Lisbon has a very special place in our hearts. We've trained out of here. We trained out of here in the last race. We love the conditions. We love the folks. We love the city. So it's going to be a little bittersweet to leave. But at the same time, we've been waiting for this long ocean leg for a long time. As far as the fan base that resonates with our messaging, we're proud to champion the cause. Just listening to some of these guys speak, it's no coincidence, that there was a lot of backdowns in this first leg. This is a leg that's in and around land and in and around human population. We saw a ton of marine debris ourselves, including a massive spool of cable wire, which we were fortunate to see during the daylight hours and not have a little tangle with. We saw our fair share, and to Bowie's point, I think it's a little luck of the draw. Fortunate in the first leg not to have any issues, but it's a present problem in and around the Mediterranean.
And my final question for you: you've got Anderson Reggio back at the base, giving you some amazing routing information. Sci-Fi did clearly a standout job for the first leg. Going across down the coast of Africa, or are you going to go to Brazil? Where are you going to cross the equator? Give us some insight.
We had a weather call this morning with our team, Simon Fisher, Anderson Reggio, and Chris Bedford. It's a great team. We're very, very lucky to have them. And actually, I should add, we have a meteorologist from within Vestas, which is a great partnership as well. They have some pretty high-resolution models in particular parts of the world. But right now, the ensemble routes are split 50-50, so just like everybody else, we're probably going to rip to the southwest and let it play out.
Excellent. Okay, and we're going to go back to Dee just for a moment. Dee, you've got one of your Portuguese sailors here. I'd just like you to introduce him and tell us about his skills. Go for it.
Oh, well, I've got Frederico joining me for leg 2, and a former Olympian, multi-hull sailor, so normally short course sailing, and this will be his longest time at sea, and he's developing pretty good into an offshore sailor.
Okay, Frederico, how do you feel? Give us an answer first in Portuguese, if you will, about your feelings for this big race and going offshore for so many days.
Good morning. First of all, it's an honor to be sitting beside such a legend. I hope you enjoyed all the time here in our country. You are more than welcome whenever you want, even to my house if you want to have some dinner. Now I'll pass to the Portuguese, I'm sorry. Sim, tem sido uma aventura fantástica. Vou para a minha primeira experiência offshore, 20 dias no mar, nunca tive nada parecido. Estou bastante confiante porque a equipa é muito boa, o ambiente é muito bom a bordo e tenho a certeza que vamos fazer uma ótima competição e chegar sãos e salvos a Cape Town.
And what is your job on the boat? You look like you can pretty much do every job on the boat, if I'm honest. Tell us what you're doing, particularly on the boat, first in English and then in Portuguese, please.
Yeah, a lot of grinding, stacking. Yeah, but it's fun, all the teamwork on the grinding, on the stacking, it's a lot of teamwork, I love that. So it's been a lot of coordination between everybody. The team is fantastic, we have a mix of experience and inexperience, and everybody, the inexperienced, are learning so much with the experienced guys. So the vibe is being so good, we're having so much fun, and I hope we can beat some of these guys pretty soon.
Great, and just briefly in Portuguese.
Então a minha função a bordo é muito no moinho de café, é mudar velas, o trabalho é bastante duro a bordo, é um trabalho bastante de coordenação de equipa, que é uma coisa que eu gosto bastante. Temos uma equipa, um misto de inexperiência e experiência, que tem sido bastante divertido, porque os inexperientes estão a aprender muito com os experientes. Portanto, o ambiente tem sido espetacular, temos evoluído muito e esperemos em breve estar a ganhar alguma destas equipas que estão aqui ao meu lado.
Great, thank you very much. It's wonderful to have such a strong Portuguese influence in our stopover here in Lisbon. Now we open it up to questions from the media, so if you'd just like to
stick your hand up, we will. I think Amy has got some microphones, questions. Here we go.
The question is for Team Vestas. As we remember last Volvo Ocean Race, the Team Vestas board hit the reef in the Indian Ocean. So did you make a proper correction for the navigational system to avoid such a bad experience this time?
Start with a real cracker. Go.
I think I got the gist, but what was the actual question?
Your navigation system's all good. You can zoom in okay, and you've got all that figured out.
I mean, I believe them to be rectified. You know, as we all know, accidents happen. You know, we got pretty much an all-new cast of characters. You know, we do a lot of due diligence before every single leg, and this leg is no different, and we don't foresee any issues.
And just to follow up to that, speak to, you know, Vestas had a dramatic, for a sponsor, a dramatic situation. They're back again. That must be a great for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's aware of the situation with Vestas last time, you know, colliding with a reef in the South Pacific Ocean, but, South Indian Ocean? Geez, maybe I would have hit, I don't even know where we were. But, you know, I think it speaks a lot to their character. It takes a very strong partner to come back to the table after something like that, and, you know, Lisbon's a special place for Vestas as well. Because that's where they re-entered the race last time. And I think, you know, their commitment to re-entry and then doubling down on this event and coming back for this race says a lot about them as a company.
Great, Bauer.
But I think you have to speak to your American president. Last night he made an announcement who heard at your Danish part, Vestas, a lot. This morning I woke up, I got a shock. The stock dropped 7.5%. That's my money.
Okay.
So speak to your Americans, use your influence because you guys are doing great.
We've got a rule on that. We've got a rule at the press conferences: no religion and no politics, like a good dinner party. So we're going to move on. And our next question, who have we got here? Feel free to ask questions in Portuguese, also, no problem.
Hello, good morning. I'd like to ask a question to Mr. Tienpont. I wasn't here in the beginning of the press conference. I don't know if you talk about the situation on your boat, and I'd like to know if this time the situation is already more calm and everything is dealt for the second leg.
Yeah, thank you for your question. Now I can assure you it's for sure we didn't have the preparation in Alicante we hoped for or we worked towards, and but I can assure things have been put back in place of how they were, and we've been working pretty hard, you know, to resolve the situation so we get a strong lineup again. And I feel very confident, you know, in this last week when we had also a decent result in the last leg. We had time enough to get the group stronger, and we are very confident to begin this next leg, and we're very excited as well to later today to bring up the lineup and hopefully go for a podium position. But that's what we fight for, as Charlie said before as well.
And a follow-up to that, the rules dictate that you announce your crew today, 2 o'clock, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So that's why I think it's perfect timing.
There we go. 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Akzo Nobel will announce their final crew. Next question, please. In the middle here, white shirt.
Here we go.
Good morning, all. My name is Joachim Rieken from sailinganarchy.de, the German issue of the world-famous Sailing Anarchy. I have a question about the race committee. Has the race committee the opportunity to do as leg one, to stretch the leg by announcement?
We'll take Xavi.
What's the question again?
The question is there an opportunity for the race committee to change the length of the leg?
Well, I don't think so, no. I don't hope so, no. Hopefully it's a quick trip and we get there early and we have more rest here.
Yeah, the answer is no. For this leg, but the first leg only, the arrival was set for arrival here in Lisbon, so they wanted to make it so it was for the public and everyone to come in. For the leg to Cape Town, absolutely not. No chance that the leg will be increased or reduced. That's just up to the sailors as to how long it takes them now. Yes, at the back here, madam. There we go, Amy, and the microphone. Thank you.
Can I do it in Portuguese?
Stand up and in Portuguese. Yes, thank you.
Frederico, como é que se preparou para esta próxima perna? São cerca de 22 dias. Como é que tem sido a preparação?
Muitas perguntas às pessoas mais experientes, de pequenos detalhes, como que roupa hei de levar na mala pequena que podemos levar, como fazer a gestão pessoal durante tantos dias, higiene, tudo, que é algo que se pode acumular durante estes dias todos, por isso nunca passei por algo parecido, por isso é só por visualização, basicamente.
And just a quick summary of the answer in English.
So she asked me how did I prepare for this leg. I said I asked a lot of questions to the experienced guys. For example, I'm still waiting for a list from Dee for the clothes that I should bring on board. So small details like this, like how to do your personal hygiene, or something that in the end can create some big problems. So just to be aware of the small tricks, how you can manage yourself. But as I was never in such a long leg, so I only can make a mind image of what could be.
Okay, and Dee, come on, give him a few helpful tips about what he needs to bring, and then we'll have one final question. Go, Dee.
No, I have written the kit list. I just need to send it. But I did get asked, and it is simple things. It's the little things that will make a 21-day leg much easier for those less experienced.
Pseudo cream, mate.
But I don't know if he needs the same number of bras that I need. I don't know.
Okay, one final question. We got one last question here. No, we good? Okay, great. We'll do a photo call now here, please. Just stood up, just in the centre, and we'll have you all nice and tight.